although they are only available in white, yellow, maybe orange color, but they have a kind of inbuilt versatility to the plant or different species of it that you can make use of as a gardener, and I'm going to be talking about that in this video. So you can have them in single colors, a combination of colors, so you're beginning to see the way the variation can come in. The colors are even slightly different from each other, and you can also have the different combinations and the sizes of the petals. The way the petals are arranged are different, and you can also have different sizes of the plants themselves. So you have some that are that tall, you got the medium size, and you can have the dwarf ones, and this gives you a wide variety that you can use depending on what you want or the location you want to put them in your border. So this brings a lot of versatility to the to daffodil as a flower, even though with initially you may think they only come in yellow, cream, white, and that brings you away from that, so to say, limitation when it comes to using daffodils in your garden. So let's go and I'll show you some of the ones that I've seen in this patch close to my neighborhood. So I have these that are white, and you can see the shape of the flower. I'm going to go closer so you can see the shape of the flower. So it's got like the petals arranged, and you have at the base of the bowl. And this particular one, yes, it's white, but it's a medium height. I would say this is about between 35 and 40 centimeters in height. And there is another one that is close by, which I'm going to go to. I'm going further now to see another which is about the same, but this is not as the height of this. You can see the flower is the same as the one I saw as we saw earlier, but the height of this cannot be more than 30 centimeters, which means you can use this maybe towards the front of your border depending on the depth of your border, or in the middle. There's another that is also white in color, but this one is a dwarf version, or this cannot be taller than maybe 15 centimeters, and that brings variation into it. So here is a yellow daffodil, just single color, and you can already see, of course, in terms of height, it's a dwarf one. I think that's a tete-a-tete, and you've got same kind of arrangement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 petals that is forming like the base of the bowl that you've got here, and this will be suitable for use in front of the border. So here is another that is just yellow again, but we can see here that the petals, the petal is shaped very, very different from the one we've seen before, and this is almost like a rosette, and it is looking like it's very heavy. That's why it's drooping, because I've got another of it that is not too far away from here. There you go. It's the same one, but it's again drooping because that head is quite heavy, so I can understand why it's doing that. But that's a different variation of daffodil compared to the one we've seen before. Flower is completely different, and the height means that you can use it maybe towards the middle part of the border. So here's another yellow, but we can see that the shape is different from the tete-a-tete, even though the height is just a little bit more than the tete-a-tete one that we saw before. So I'm just picturing, I'm trying to zoom in on what we have here, so that these two are planted together next to each other, so you can see same color yellow. Actually, the color of the yellow is slightly different. This is a brighter yellow, but we can see that the shape is different, the way the flowers, the petals are arranged. And with this now, we see a variation in the color again and the shape of the flowers. So this yellow flower has more than one flower on the stem. There you go. This one has got two, and the shape is the same. The shape of the flower is the same as the one we saw earlier, but it is still yellow. And we can then talk about the fact that this brings variation so into the daffodil that you've got. If you want yellow, you can have all yellow but different shapes and different height, and that way you can utilize it at different parts or location in your garden. So we have looked at different colors that is available, at least in this area. We've looked at the white, we've seen the yellow now, and also the shape of the flowers. Now I'm going to look at the situation where you have a combination of colors, daffodils with combination of colors. So these ones here, this is the first one we're looking at with a combination of colors. It's got like it looks orange it may look orange in the video, but it's actually very deep yellow, I would call it. And look at the shape of it. The petals, 1 2 3 4 5 6 petals that forms like a base around the bowl of this particular variety of daffodils. So you see straight away you can see variation, and the height of it, this is about 30 centimeters, maybe a little bit more than that, 30-35 centimeters, and that can already dictate to you what location you will have it, or you can put it in your border. So here we have some different ones. So this is the bowl is more yellow, not as deep. The one I saw before is looking quite deeper in color, orangey yellow, but this one is yellow with white petals, and it looks as if the yellow is bleeding into the cream or white petals, and they're not as tall as the one I showed you before. So this one will probably be about 25 to 30 centimeters in height, and again this would dictate where you can put it in the border. Here is another mixture, a combination of, this is more white, the petals, and orange bowl, and the petals are huge. They're much bigger than the ones we saw before. So I'm just going to zoom in for us to see, and maybe we'll look at particular flower. And this again means that you have a variation which you can use to your advantage when you're thinking in terms of where you're going to place this in the border, because this is something, if I have it in my border, it will be towards the end, because my border is not very deep. And that just removes all these variations, just remove the limitation we may think that having daffodils brings. So I hope this has been of use to you, and if you're thinking of planting daffodils, then you may want to keep an eye out on the information you're given about it with regards to the height, the color of course, and maybe the shape of the flower that you're going to get from it. This one has a much bigger petals and flower than the ones we've seen before. So, and if you do fancy having bolder ones in your border, then you may want to go for this variety or something that looks like this. Here is one I almost missed. The combination gives it quite a unique type. This is not what I have seen before of daffodils. Got 3 flowers on a stem, and look at that, the way the petals are, it's almost as if they turned inside out, and the bowl looks as if there are eyes on the petal, in the middle of the petal. And this is quite a unique one. It's quite tall. I think it's about 40 centimeters in height, and is standing very erect. I'm not surprised, because the size of the petals or the flowers are not that big. In fact, they're small, and which means that it's not a huge, even though there are 3 of them, it's not huge or heavy for the stem to carry. And I like erect things in my garden. Maybe I'll look out for this one next time I want to plant daffodils. I hope this has been useful for you so far. If you're thinking of putting in of course they are too late for this year, but for next year, if you're planning on what kind of bulbs you're going to have, so I'm hoping that you got some information about the ones you can have and use in your garden. So I'm going to be looking at a particular one that is quite different from all the ones that we've looked at. So it's almost like a hybrid of the shape, the color. They are not single colors. That's why I'm saying it looks like it's a hybrid of these ones that we've talked about, and that may catch your unfortunately fancy. This looks like it's towards the end of its life, but you can see there that the way the I wish I had cut it earlier. The way the petals are is very different from anyone that we've seen before now, and they're just a tint of yellow, and it's mainly white. I wish I'd seen this earlier so I could show you, but certainly this is different, and so you can look out for that, a variation or something different when you want to choose or plant your daffodils. And it's quite tall as well, so it may be able to stand in the middle of the border. I really like this one. It's again flower very different. It's like a hybrid of all the things, all the types that we've looked at before. It's quite tall, so this is about between 45 and 50 centimeters in height, and the flower is shaped like a rosette, but layers, the petals are layered, and after the first 2 base layers you have an interchange between the yellow and the orange, which just makes the flower very nice. And so if you choose, you can have this one, and it's quite tall, and again use it the way it fits your theme or the arrangement that you're having in your garden. So I hope this video has been useful to you, and if so, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also turn on your notification button so you can receive an alert when a new video is being released. Until next time, I say thank you for watching and bye.